First Timothy chapter 6 verse 1. First Timothy chapter 6 verse number 1.
Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
So the yoke refers to relationship of obedience, a relationship of obedience, accountability, instructions, and all of that. Obedience, accountability, instructions. So he says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. So it's a yoke of a pastor, a yoke of a teacher, a yoke of a leader. For I am meek and lowly in heart. Give me again Matthew 11:28 to 29. Matthew 11, chapter 11, 28, 29 verses.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Next verse.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
So talking about learning of the Father outside ceremonies. Learning of the Father outside ceremonies. Outside, systems of the law of sin and death. But by the revelation of the scriptures. Learning of the Father outside ceremonies, outside systems of the law of sin and death. Learning of the Father strictly from Genesis to Malachi. Learning of the Father strictly from Genesis to Malachi. So it's not a text for deliverance or a deliverance session in quote. The text here is learning of the Father, and that's the yoke, and that's the burden. My burden is light. So there's a burden and a yoke to bear. There's a burden and a yoke to bear in discipleship. There's a burden and a yoke to bear in discipleship.